Happy Monday, Bookie Crushers! Today we have a slate of 7 games in Major League Baseball, and I would like to share 5 plays, including one that is graded 5 stars. I will also discuss the famous LOBSTER bets. The last time I talked to you on Friday, we had won 5 consecutive LOBSTER bets. For those of you who are not aware, I'm talking about the best wager across all sports every single day. Now, I'm happy to report that we won Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which means we are now riding an 8-game winning streak. Can we break our record of 11 consecutive wins? We will find out soon. So we'll discuss all of that in a few seconds.
This is the future.
Are you ready to crush your bookies?
Evolution.
My first pick for Monday, June 2nd concerns the Angels against the Red Sox, and it is rated 5 stars. Alright, so I am taking a player prop bet, Zach Neto from the Angels to score at least a run. In other words, I am betting on Neto to get over 0.5 runs scored. So let me show the official pick here, and it is rated 5 stars. So I have very high confidence. It is viewed as being a premium pick, which means it has been shared to all of our savvy sports investors at mjpicks.com. So the line varies between minus 130 and plus 102, depending on your bookie. Alright, so here are some arguments supporting this play. On the surface, this looks like a scary bet because Neto has failed to score a run in each of his past 5 games. However, I think he will bounce back. And prior to not scoring a run in each of his last 5 games, from May 6th to the 26th, this bet posted a jaw-dropping 15-5 record. Now, the starter for Boston is Richard Fitz, who has been very effective thus far in the 2025 campaign, but there are 3 buts. Number 1, he has only pitched 40 2/3 innings in his career, so he's very inexperienced. Number 2, Fitz missed 6 weeks due to a pectoral strain, and he only made 44 pitches in his last outing, so he does not appear to be at full strength at all. Finally, Fitz's career whip statistic at home is 1.38 versus 1.04 on the road, so he's been much more effective away from home, and unfortunately for him, he is pitching at Fenway Park today. So I really believe Neto will score at least 1 run today. So this is my first pick, and I have a lot of confidence with this selection. Up next, I have a play on Milwaukee Cincinnati. This time I am making another bet at positive odds. I feel like Milwaukee will pull off the upset on the road against the Reds. As you can see on your screen, the best odds I found about an hour ago were plus 104 with FanDuel. You can see the screenshot on your screen. Now in this case, both clubs are trying to stay within striking distance of the Chicago Cubs, who are sitting atop the NL Central Division. Now Milwaukee is riding a 7-game winning streak, while Cincinnati has dropped each of his past 2 contests. Starting for the Reds is Brady Singer. This is his first season with the Reds after spending the first 5 years of his career with the Kansas City Royals. He has done a decent job with a 1.33 whip stat. which is close to the league average. However, he owns a fairly high 4.60 ERA. But granted, he has delivered 3 pretty good performances in a row. Now starting for the Brew Crew is Aaron Civale. He has only made 3 starts this season. Now his first one was poor. He gave up 5 earned runs in 3 innings of work, but that was at the Yankees, so it was a tough task to handle when you are making your season debut. He has been much better in his next 2. If you combine those 2 last starts, he has given up a total of 3 earned runs in 9 innings pitched. So to me, he should be back at peak fitness after missing the start of the season with a strained hamstring. So basically, I like the fact that we are getting positive odds on a team that's riding a 7-game winning streak. Plus, we have an okay pitching duel. Plus, Cincinnati has been quite inconsistent. They can be great or bad. And finally, Milwaukee has a slightly better overall record. So I feel like we have some value with the Brewers money line today. All right, let's move on to my third pick, which is going to concern the San Diego-San Francisco matchup. And this time I am betting no run to be scored in the initial frame. You can see on your screen that the best odds are minus 125, which equates to 1.80 in decimal. Maybe your bookie has a lower line. It could be minus 135, minus 140, or something like that. Now, sorry. So as discussed in prior videos this year, Logan Webb is a lot more effective at Oracle Park compared to when he's pitching on the road. Let's look at his numbers since 2023. His home ERA stands at 2.38 versus 4.17 away from home. Now, sure, he has given up exactly 3 earned runs in each of his past 2 appearances. But the last one was at Detroit against a strong Tigers lineup. And in that game, he still generated a season-high 20 whiffs, including racking up 10 punch-outs. Now I am more worried about Stephen Kolek, who will get the start for the Padres. His first 2 starts this season were scoreless, so things were looking up. However, his next 3 outings went quite badly. He has given up 5, 3, and 6 earned runs. However, I did appreciate his resilience in his last start. He gave up 6 runs in the first inning, but then he gave nothing in the ensuing 4 1/3 innings. So to me, that should give him some confidence and some momentum heading into today's match. So I feel like there won't be any runs scored in the first inning, and I like the price that we are getting. So that's my third pick for today in Major League Baseball for June 2nd. All right, next I want to share a play on the Minnesota Ace game. I'm going to go with another underdog. Believe it or not, I'm taking the Ace money line. And right now, the best odds were plus 135 with Cool Bet. But pay attention to its star rating. It's only rated 1 star. Now remember that a 1-star pick doesn't mean it's a crappy pick. Okay, I'm only sharing plays that I believe are worth betting, and then I am grading them among themselves. So it's just telling you that to me it's worth betting but borderline acceptable. So that means that its ROI is slightly positive, maybe around plus 1%. All right, so in this case, we have 2 reeling teams. Minnesota, after winning 13 games in a row, they are now 5-7 since then, including losing their past 2 contests. Now the A's are undergoing a 6-game losing skid, including winning just 1 of their past 18 games overall. It doesn't get any worse than this. But the A's fit under a betting system called the Cold Teams Matchup Number 2, which is rated 5 stars because it is one of my best performing systems among the 19 I have developed. So it's in the top 5. Let's review its rules, which are quite simple, and yet they have been very effective according to past data. Bet the home team if the road club has lost either 1, 2, or 3 straight games, and if the home team has lost at least 4 games in a row. Now again, the Twins are on the road and they have lost 2 consecutive games, whereas the home squad is the A's, who have lost 6 games in a row. So by following those rules, we must bet the Athletics to get the W. Of course, it's quite hard to be fading Joe Ryan, who has put up Cy Young-worthy numbers this season. But Luis Severino has been quite good, especially of late. In fact, he has delivered 3 straight quality starts, and in those games, he has given up a total of 3 earned runs in 18 innings of work. So if you do the math, that equates to an ERA of 1.50. So I think the A's have a shot to get the W today. I know it feels risky, and one of the reasons why I have decided to rate it 1 star is because Luis Severino owns an ERA at home this year of 6.20 versus 0.87 on the road. And today he's obviously pitching in front of his home fans, and he has not fared well under such circumstances during the 2025 season. But still, I feel like we have maybe a plus 1% ROI on this play at such high odds. Alright, now we are left with one more play, which concerns the cracking contest between the Mets and the Dodgers. And in that game, I am opting for a player prop bet. More precisely, I'll go with Paul Blackburn to record over 3.5 strikeouts. So that means that I am betting that Blackburn will accumulate at least 4 strikeouts in this contest. This pick is rated 3 stars out of 5. Alright, so Blackburn will make his season debut following a myriad of injuries. Now it's hard to know what to expect from him, but it feels to me like the strikeout total remains quite low. So that's why I am opting for the over. Even considering the fact that he's facing a strong Dodgers lineup, and that makes this bet a bit scary. But if you look at the numbers, the Dodgers as a team have struck out, if I remember correctly, the 15th most times in the big leagues this year, so they are ranking in the middle of the pack in that category. Now in the minors this year, Blackburn has racked up 31 strikeouts in 29 1/3 innings. Now if you focus on last season, Blackburn made 14 starts. And now let's pretend that you would have bet Blackburn to record at least 4 strikeouts in each of those 14 games. Well, in the end, you would have picked up a nice 10-4 record. So that is reassuring to me. So there you go. This is my 5th pick. And now you are... and now, of course, I want to talk about the famous LOBSTER BETS, which is the best sports betting service available in the world. I'm sharing with you the best wager across all sports. And if you take a look at how we've done since I started this concept in April 23rd, remember that in fact I started off by sharing my top NFL pick each week, and that's what I used to call my LOBSTER bet. So it was 1 pick per week, and we generated a 7-2 record once I started doing that. Now I've decided on April 23rd to start sharing what I believe is the best pick across all sports, and since then we have obtained 31 wins and 9 losses. Clearly that cannot be attributed to luck. Okay? I work very hard every day to make the best selections as possible, and you can see that right now we are riding an 8-game winning streak, which is not necessarily our record because we won 11 in a row not very long ago. So since I last talked to you, here are the picks that I made. On Friday, we took the Yankees first 5 innings money line at the Dodgers. if I remember correctly, they held a 6-2 lead during the first half. Now, they eventually lost the game, so thank God I went for the first half money line. Then the next day, I took Will Warren to record under 5.5 strikeouts. He was chased very early. It did not even last 2 innings, and he got only 2 punch-outs in that game. Finally, yesterday, my favorite play was under 5.5 runs to be scored in the first 5 innings of the Nationals Diamondbacks game. It did not look so good after 1 inning because the D-backs scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first. But only 1 more run was scored for the rest of the game, in fact. So the game ended 3-1, so that was another victory. Now, if you are interested to join the action and you also want to crush the bookies with our large group of savvy sports investors, now we have had a record-breaking number of subscribers for June. So I am still leaving that page up for maybe 2 or 3 days. So you can still sign up to receive every single day in your mailbox my famous lobster bet. I will share a link below in the comments section and also in the video's description if you want to join the action and if you want to grow your bankroll. Alright, so I wish you a great Monday. I'm Professor MJ from Quebec City in Canada, a 15-year university statistics teacher who retired in 2022 after amassing more than $1 million with my sports bets. I'm looking forward to talk to you again tomorrow. Cheers, guys!